Maupay nga kulop haton nga tanan. Good day, I am Andres III Bisiquito, a dedicated science faculty member at the College of Education, Summer State University, located in the Philippines, Asia. I hold a master's degree in biology and am currently pursuing my doctorate in science education at Far Eastern University under the science education track. My academic and professional pursuits are deeply rooted in the biological sciences, life sciences, water science, research, and science education. Guided by a passion for scientific inquiry and innovation, I am committed to advancing knowledge, promoting environmental awareness, and fostering research-based and transformative approaches to science teaching and learning. Samar State University is located in Catbalogan City, Samar, Philippines. It's a premier higher education institution in Eastern Visayas known for its excellence in research, education, and innovation. SSU offers advanced program in science, technology, and education with strong emphasis on biological sciences, life sciences, fisheries, and water science research. The university boasts modern facilities, including the Research and Innovation Center, with a state-of-the-art laboratory supporting multidisciplinary studies. Committed to sustainable and inclusivity, SSU fosters academic excellence, research advancement, and community engagement aligned with the national and global educational goals. Our research entitled Inhibitory Effect of Purslane Plant Portulaca oleracea crude extract against Staphylococcus bacteria explores the antimicrobial potential of a common yet scientifically valuable plant species. This study aims to determine the inhibitory properties of purslane extract against Staphylococcus aureus, a pathogenic bacterium responsible for various infections and thereby contributing to the growing field of natural product-based antibacterial research. This study is a collaborative effort with my esteemed co-researchers and authors, namely as Rio Sicogo, Josamay Dongon, Mark Lester Radomes, Mary Rose Sardenia, Sherry Ann Labid, and Elmer Erini, whose expertise and dedication have been instrumental in completing this research. Infectious diseases are caused by a pathogenic microorganism in which this can spread directly or indirectly from one person to another. Among these organisms, Staphylococcus aureus is one of the most dangerous of all the common bacteria. SAP is a group of gram-positive bacteria that can cause multitude of disease such as boils, cellulitis, and it can lead to more serious illness like pneumonia if left untreated for long. Approximately 1/3 of the human population is colonized with S. aureus. In fact, according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, there were nearly 120,000 Staphylococcus aureus bloodstream infections and 20,000 related deaths in 2017. In the Philippines, 30% of community-acquired S. aureus and 38% of the hospital-acquired S. aureus infections are caused by methicillin-resistant S. aureus bacteria or MRSA. And according to the Antimicrobial Resistance Surveillance of the Philippines, the prevalence of MRSA in the country is 31%. Treatment in such bacteria usually involve antibiotics and drainage of the infected area. However, some of these infections are no longer respond to common antibiotics. In line with the Harmonized National Research and Development Agenda of DOST for the year 2022 to 2028, the researchers are proposing a development of a possible antibacterial with the use of a plant named Portulaca oleracea or ulasiman. In related studies, Portulaca oleracea extract contains alpha-linolenic acid, flavonoids, particularly kaempferol and apigenin, saponins, and tannins, which made the researchers think that it possibly possesses antibacterial activity against Staphylococcus aureus. With this gathered information, we, the researchers, conducted a study entitled Inhibitory Effect of Purslane Plant Portulaca oleracea crude extract against Staphylococcus bacteria. This investigation if Portulaca or Rosea crude extract possesses antibacterial effect against Staphylococcus aureus, specifically, this study is aimed to, first, to determine the purslane plant crude extracts can record zone of inhibition in Staphylococcus aureus bacteria. Second, to determine if there will be a significant difference among different treatment of the study in terms of the zone of inhibition with respect to the various concentration, and examine which part of the plant is most effective in terms of bacterial inhibition against this kind of bacteria. We will include the leaves, the stem, and even the root crude. Third is to identify if there is a significant difference between the most effective concentration of purslane plant and the positive control in terms of the zone of inhibition. For our theoretical framework, the study was based on the fundamental concept of antibacterial activity, which refers to the ability of a particular substance or compound to inhibit or prevent the growth of proliferation of bacteria. These are the materials that we will be using, or we was used during the research proper. And this is the framework for our methodology during the conduct of the study. For the experimentation, the researchers prepared 5 treatments for each plant parts with 3 varying concentrations of purslane plant, leaves, purslane leaves, stem, and roots. A negative and positive control, having a total of 15 varying treatments used in this study. Then the assay was conducted using the 3-trial true experimental design, and the researchers submitted the plant samples of the purslane plant to DNR Penrock at Balogan for identification and verification of the plant. Then the researchers coordinated with the Research Innovation Center Microbiology Laboratory to obtain the Staphylococcus aureus strain, from which the culture was taken from the DOST Regional Standards and Testing Laboratory last 2021 by the university, then stocked and cultured in the lab. After which, the researchers collected and weighed a total of 150 grams of the purslane leaves, stem, and roots, employing random sampling technique, and began the plant extraction through maceration and in ethanol and rotary evaporation. Right after the crude extracts of each plant part, samples were subjected immediately to phytochemical screening as part of the confirmatory testing about these antibacterial properties. And the following results were obtained from the various tests. These are the phytochemical results. And the researcher used the nutrient agar as the medium in this diffusion assay. 6 grams of nutrient agar was added to 300 ml of distilled water, then mixed using the magnetic stirrer for 30 minutes until completely dissolved. Then it was autoclaved at 120 degrees Celsius for 60 minutes to ensure sterility, and dispensed with a 4 millimeter thickness in each plate. After which, it was allowed to cool inside the biosafety cabinet for 30 minutes at 27 degrees Celsius. Then the researchers started the inoculation for the Staphylococcus aureus in the TSB test tube. These tubes were later incubated at 37 degrees Celsius until it developed a turbidity indicating bacterial growth. After incubation, the bacteria were transferred to the nutrient agar plates using a sterile cotton swabs. For an even distribution, the swab was streaked 3 to 4 times over the agar surface, and the plate was rotated approximately 60 degrees each time, then inverted. The disc diffusion method was used to determine the growth of inhibition of bacteria and plant extract as described by the Kirby-Bauer diffusion. The filter paper discs were impregnated with the extracts and were placed on the nutrient agar media with the distance of 24 millimeter of each disc. After 18 hours of incubation, the researchers recorded the result. All throughout these processes, the researchers utilized aseptic technique from preparation materials to the decontamination of the test organisms. The materials used in the experimentation were placed inside an autoclavable bag and was autoclaved to kill the bacteria. After getting the lab results, analysis and interpretation of the data were conducted. Based on the graph, treatment of 2 to 4 of the purslane leaf, stem, and roots yielded zone of inhibition. However, the negative control and the 25% concentration of the purslane extract recorded no zone of inhibition. Presented in Table 1 are the interpretations of zone of inhibition based on the Clinical and Laboratory Standard Institute. All treatments except for the negative control, which was resistant, and all of the treatment 1 of the 3 setups can be noted to have antibacterial effects. In the first experimental setup utilizing the leaf crude extract of the plant, treatments 2, 3, and the positive control T4 were interpreted as susceptible, while T0 and T1 showed to be resistant to Staphylococcus aureus. Similar interpretations were also observed from the result obtained from the stems and roots of the purslane plant, where the negative control and the 25% extract concentrations, or T1, consistently showed resistance to the said bacteria, while susceptibility in T2 and T4 of each experimental setups were maintained. These results answered our objective number 1. Then, to determine the significant difference among the different treatment of the study in terms of the zone of inhibition with respect to the various concentration, and to identify which among the plant parts is the much more effective in inhibiting the bacteria, two-way ANOVA was used. Table 2 and 3 displays the result of the repeated measures, ANOVA for the within subject effects. The analysis looks at how the various parts and concentration of the purslane plant, RM factor 1, and the interaction between RM factor 1 and the zones of inhibition affects the antibacterial activity against Staphylococcus aureus. And based on the findings, the ANOVA results demonstrated that the purslane leaf, stem, and root crude extracts, as well as the positive control, exhibits antibacterial activity, with significant difference in the zone of inhibition observed among the various treatment groups, having the p-values lesser than 0.01. These findings only suggest that Portulaca oleracea plant extracts, particularly from specific parts of the plant, can effectively inhibit the growth of Staphylococcus aureus bacteria. Moreover, since the result of the 3 crude extracts are statistically significant, and according to statistics, that if ANOVA indicates significant difference, it means that at least one pair of the group has significantly different mean. So, in order for us to clearly answer the objectives 2, 3, and 4, Tukey-Kramer post hoc was employed. To find out concentrations of the purslane leaves, stem, and roots that is the most effective antibacterial against the Staphylococcus aureus, as well as the most effective among the 3 plant parts with respect to the positive control, the raw data was treated using the Tukey-Kramer post hoc test, and the level of significance was set to 0.01. Based on the results, treatment 0 and T1 of the 3 experiments of crude extracts are not significantly different, which indicates that they almost have the same effect. However, T1 and T3, T2 and T3 shows that they are significantly different, hence the concentration of the purslane leaf, stem, roots that is the most effective in treatment 3, which answers our objective number 2 in this study. Then, for the determination of the most effective parts of the purslane plant, and the positive control using the data of their most effective concentrations, comparing their respective absolute range to the given critical range, the results showed that the leaf, stem, and roots of the purslane plants are not that statistically significant to one another, meaning they almost have the same effect in terms of inhibiting Staphylococcus aureus bacteria, but statistically significant compared to the positive control, and this clearly answers our objective number 3. For the conclusion, based on the findings, the following conclusions were derived. First, crude extract of Portulaca oleracea leaf, stem, roots can record zonal inhibition on the Staphylococcus aureus in the different treatments, including or excluding the treatment 0 or the negative control and treatment 1 with a 25% concentration of crude extracts of the purslane leaf, stem, and roots, which recorded with no zones of inhibition. Second, the concentration of the purslane leaf, stem, and root crude extracts is their treatment 3 with 75% concentration, and treatment 4 positive control in terms of their zone of inhibition of the Staphylococcus aureus. There is no significant difference among the different parts of purslane plant at their most effective concentration in terms of zone of inhibition in Staphylococcus bacteria in a level of significance of 0.01. Lastly, there is a significant difference between the most effective concentration, or 75% crude extracts of the purslane leaf, stem, root, and the positive control in terms of their zone of inhibition against Staphylococcus aureus bacteria in an alpha level significance of 0.01. The recommendations: to conduct a quantitative analysis and extraction of the phytochemicals present in the purslane plant to identify the bioactive components responsible for its antibacterial activity, and this will help in the development of antibiotics. Investigate other species within the same family as the purslane plant, as they may also possess antimicrobial properties. Third, conduct further studies using the different extraction methods such as acetone, water, ethyl alcohol, and petroleum ether to explore potential antibacterial activities. Then conduct susceptibility tests using other bacterial strains from both gram-positive and gram-negative types to broaden the antibiotic spectrum of the plant extract. These are our references attached to our Mendeley citation. And for the impact outcomes of the study, scientific advancement, the study adds valuable evidence supporting the antibacterial potential of Portulaca oleracea, reinforcing its relevance in scientific and ethnopharmacological research. It validates traditional claims about the plant's medicinal properties and provides a foundation for future studies in natural product drug discovery. For health and medical impact, the findings highlight the potential of purslane crude extracts as a natural, affordable, and accessible antibacterial alternative, especially in communities with limited access to commercial antibiotics. It may help mitigate the rising issue of antibiotic resistance by introducing a plant-based antimicrobial options with the multi-target effects. For socioeconomic environmental impact, the study encourages the utilization of locally available plant like purslane, which can support community-based livelihood and sustainable resource management. Because all plant parts, the leaf, stem, and root, were effective. The findings also promote balanced and eco-friendly harvesting practices. For public awareness and policy impact, the outcomes may inspire health and agricultural agencies to support policies that promote the use of safe, natural, and sustainable plant-based remedies as part of public health strategies and antimicrobial stewardship program. For my personal insight, as one of the researchers and co-author of the study, I have gained a deeper appreciation for the power of natural resources in addressing global health challenges. The research journey taught me patience, precision, and the importance of scientific integrity. Working with Portulaca oleracea revealed how something as simple as a common plant can possess a remarkable antibacterial properties. It strengthened my belief that meaningful discoveries can emerge from local environments when guided by curiosity and perseverance. Ultimately, this experience inspired me to continue exploring plant-based solutions and contribute to the sustainable health practices and community empowerment through science. For my closing statement, this research on the inhibitory effect of Portulaca oleracea against Staphylococcus aureus remind us that powerful solutions to modern health problems can come from nature itself. Our findings prove that locally available plants can play a vital role in combating bacterial infections and reducing dependence on synthetic antibiotics. The study is more than a scientific achievement. It is a call to explore, innovate, and utilize our natural resources responsibly. I extend my gratitude to everyone who supported this journey, and I hope this research inspired continued efforts towards sustainable, community-based scientific discoveries for a healthier future. Damo nga salamat and thank you very much.